In part 2, we saw that the Palestinians were known simply as Arabs when Israel was formed, and that Israel's creation might therefore be better understood as an affront to Arab, if not Muslim, dominion of the Middle East, than as dispossession of a small, not yet existent people. It would also explain the shared Arab goal from early on to thwart Britain's plans to create a Jewish homeland in the Middle East. Efforts were made not only through violence, but by trying to outnumber the Jewish inhabitants in Palestine. What many do not know about the Palestinian Arabs, many of whom became refugees in 1948, is that their numbers had soared after Zionists arrived. In the early years, the growth was organic. But while Jewish activity favored Arab population growth, Arab leaders expressly endeavored to diminish the Jewish population, notably by pressuring the British. As early as 1922, a British white paper complied with the Arab demand that Jewish immigration be regulated. And by 1938, Grand Mufti of Jerusalem Haj Amin al-Husseini, the religious and political leader the British had appointed, doubled down with his number one demand. But in the infamous White Paper of 1939, the British largely accommodated the Mufti. This paper called for limiting Jewish immigration to 75,000 over a period of 5 years, after which time it said, no further Jewish immigration will be permitted unless the Arabs of Palestine are prepared to acquiesce in it. Meantime, Arab immigration to Palestine continued apace. One wonders how many of today's 5.9 million Palestinian refugees had forebears who only lived in Palestine for 2 years, from 1946 to 1948. For this was the meager requirement for claiming refugee status. But why should Haj Amin al-Husseini stop at ramping up Arab immigration and coercing the British? Why not a sit down with Hitler to cut Jews off at the spigot? In the post-World War II Nuremberg trials, German SS officer Dieter von Wieslisseny gave this testimony about Haj Amin al-Husseini. This opinion aside, al-Husseini was indisputably influential over British policy on Jewish immigration. More to the point, the immorality and robust agency of Palestinian Arab leadership during 2 critical decades is a key part of the story of Israel's founding. Al-Husseini, who saw in the Nazi Jew killing machine a way to make Palestine solely Arab, is esteemed by current West Bank leader Mahmoud Abbas, as he was by Yasser Arafat. But many anti-Israelis with a black and white view of the conflict never heard of him. Do you know who likes it this way? Many good Jews. As of 2024, if you visit Yad Vashem, the renowned Holocaust Museum in Israel, you will not see this photo. Depending on whose version you believe, the photo either never was in the museum or it was removed in 2005. Either way, the museum's current chairman has vowed that the photo will never appear under his watch. And he forcefully combats bad Jews who want it back in. He has argued that it would harm the image of the Palestinians today. Worth pondering. Palestinians vociferously bemoan things that never happened to them, like an ethnic cleansing Nakba, whereas Jews conceal things that did happen to them. The info wars between good and bad Jews, crudely, left versus right politics, have a profound effect on the public's understanding of the conflict. And there's much more that's distorted.